this question to Berlanti. I want to know your thoughts. When the character started off, she's pretty much a blank slate.
Yeah.
And then about midway through, all of a sudden, she's just like, you see her personality. And are you kind of saying that whatever your personality is, whether you have your memories or not, that's going to come through?
Yeah, I mean, identity and what makes us who we are is something that we're really going to explore over the course of the first season, especially. And that, how does your past define you? And when you take that away, like, what kind of person are you? Is there a innate goodness or an innate badness in people? It's something that we're really experimenting with. But I think, I think even though all of her personality, so to speak, has been, or all of her memories have been peeled away, her personality is still very much intact, and she's somebody that, when she hears someone in trouble, she walks in that direction. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's a fun thing to explore with her. Does that make sense? Yeah, great.
There's such a kind of outcry for female action heroes because we don't have enough. Is there then a responsibility with Blindspot to kind of do it right and make sure it delivers?
We're going to do it right. We have, basically, the reality is like, we're so lucky to have Jamie Alexander. I mean, there are very few people in the world that can do what she does physically, and then to have that and have her be like such an amazing actress with such incredible depth. The character is so fun because she's like lethal, but she's also insanely vulnerable, and so to be able to play that vulnerability and also be able to kick ass, for that to exist in the same person is like real rare. And so no, absolutely, it's something. I've been getting a lot of questions where like this today, where people were like, was this originally a man and then you like switch it to a woman? No, it's like always a woman. Like it's like I think part of what the pilot is trying to do is kind of subvert that like like shivering victimized woman that we see. Like so many people tell me when they read the pilot, they're like, ugh, another terrible crime against a woman in the middle of New York. But then to see her, take ownership of who she is and take action against the people that did this is like, it's pretty exciting to see, I think. Yeah.
Can you talk about the balance of good versus bad, of what's going on with her and the tattoos and that, and how that'll kind of play out?
Absolutely. I mean, that's really the crux of the series is like, who is Jane Doe is the first season arc. I feel like, hopefully if we do multiple seasons, but like, every season should feel like a novel in a series of books that you like. So every season's got to have a beginning and a middle and an end. And so, yeah, absolutely. Who she is she a good guy? Is she a bad guy? Is something she's going to struggle with, because even if she was, say, a bad guy in the past, does that mean she's a bad guy now? Or if she was a good guy in the past, does that mean she has to be a good guy now? So it's all of those questions about like, again, about whether the past defines you or not. Like I'm sure we all have, people at this table have a few regrets in their lives that, have maybe defined us. And what would it be like if those were suddenly gone? What would it be like if we were free of those? In some ways, it's insanely liberating. But then in other ways, I'm that person because I went through those experiences. So it's an interesting thing to play with.
How does the mystery man kind of play into that then too?
Well, someone designed and made these tattoos and put them on her body, and the mystery man, we call it the ruggedly handsome man in the script, is and yes, I was asked to play it. I said no, I'm too busy. He's part of a larger organization that you'll get a sense of as the series continues. He's the tip of the iceberg.
Is it a case of kind of holding back a lot, or will we be drip feeding episodes each and every?
No, man, you're going to get so much. I mean, the great thing about, I think with a show like this, you can't just like, who is she? And then like, have an answer, a little hint, episode 6. We've come up with like a phenomenally complicated backstory, and the great thing about that is, we have the time to tell it, and we have a lot of cards in our deck so we can flip them. There's going to be major revelations in every episode in the first season, and so yeah, I think that's important. It's a balance that we all have to find though, because like as an audience, like you just like voraciously want, right?
Yeah.
And the shows that just deliver at that pace, they burn themselves out pretty quick, and so we have a plan. We think it's a good one, and you know, like I've actually, you know, gotten feedback from the network occasionally where they're like, "Are we giving away too much?" You know, which is great. That's a great position to be in, and I'm always like, no, because there's so much story. Yeah,
There's always more. Yeah.
it's always more. Yeah,
Obviously,
great sweater, by the way. Yeah.
one of the biggest hooks is those tattoos. Everyone's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Solved. Can you talk about creating those puzzles? Is that what you guys are seeing on the staff who writes puzzles?
Yeah, we have David Klong, who's a New York Times puzzler expert and a magician. You know, like people are, the regular, that typical job that we all have. And so he was very involved. We talked with like map makers, puzzle makers, cryptologists, tattoo artists, obviously. This is something we've been like designing in the back of our minds since we started pitching the show in August, because, you know, every week, you know, the case of the week, I hesitate to call it that, but like the close-ended story emanates from her body. And so, and that's a fixed thing that we establish in the pilot, so there's got to be a lot of story on that body, and it can't be stuff where you're like sneaking in tattoos where they're like, hey, wait, that giant eagle wasn't on her back last week. Well, they can't. So, you know, I think the casual viewer maybe wouldn't notice, but this is the type of show that we know people are going to freeze frame and try to solve some of this themselves, you know?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yeah, and so it's like, it is designed in such a way where like we really just had to like, we had to do a lot of story heavy lifting before we even shot the pilot, because, you know, you're building a treasure map. So you have to know what the treasure is before you build the map, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
So you talked about, you know, how Jamie's kind of perfect for this role. Can you talk about some of the other actors as well?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, Sullivan Stapleton, you know, they were the two. There was this like, we wanted both of them, and there was this article that came out on like Deadline Hollywood. It was like the two hottest actors in pilot season. And we were like, oh god, we're never gonna get either of them, let alone both. But I think what's so great about Sullivan is that, kind of like Jamie, you know, like he's like, have you guys met? I don't know if you've met Sullivan. He's a man. He's a terrifying like man, you know. But he can play the hurt that's inside of this character so beautifully, and it makes him a fuller character. It grounds him in a reality as opposed to just being like, I'm an FBI agent, I punch people. You know, like it's like he can do that great, but he can do those quiet scenes with him and Jamie are what's going to make the show work or not. And the chemistry that those two have is like really explosive. Like that when we filmed, have you guys all seen the pilot? Or yeah, when we filmed their first encounter in the interrogation room, like it literally like the lights shorted out, like it crackled in there. And so he's amazing. And then of course like Marianne Jean-Baptiste, I can't say enough about. Most shows, by the way, like you're very lucky to get your first choice in any of the roles. We got our first choice in all 7 of the roles. So like that's insane. You know, like to be able to have that and A, get those people, and then B, have them like, you know, there's a lot of people that have to say yes to these things. And so like to have everyone on board, it really speaks to the caliber of our cast, like Academy Award nominated Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Rob Brown, who's just been like, you know, everyone knows Rob's just amazing. Audrey Esparza, Ashley Johnson, of course, is so happy to have Ashley on the show. And then Quiley Roach, like I've never done a show before where in the editing room you don't have you always have to protect someone in the editing room. There's always someone that's like, they're not great at that, or they're, you know, you gotta use your tricks to like make them seem amazing. Literally everyone in the show you can cut to at any point, they're doing something great. Like, so to have that as a storyteller as we move forward and it becomes an ensemble piece, you know, it's like to have that depth of talent is so exciting for us, you know?
Essentially about the treasure map.
Yeah.
When you don't know how long the show is going to run, how do you map out the end point?
Well, I know what the end point of the treasure map is, and it's not the end of the show, if that makes any sense. So it's the treasure map leads into something else, on which the tattoos are also play a role in. I can't really go into much more than that, but it's like, so the tattoos are always a pivotal part of the show, but the map does have an end point. Go ahead.
Is it 13 episodes then?
They've picked up 13 with a potential for 22 in this first season. Yeah, we're a fall show, so unless we tank, we'll hopefully do 22. Yeah.
We know that Jamie obviously is great at stuff and terrific actor.
Yeah.
Sully, I loved him on Strike Back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can clearly do that stuff too, so we're going to see a lot of him.
Oh, sure. He's got a great fight sequence in the pilot. I mean, like, it's like he's itching, like he's just like, hang me off of helicopters. I want to do this. I want to just like fall off a motorbike. He's like, I want to do a fight in the snow. It's like he's got all these like great ideas, and we're like, all right, man. I'll remind you that the fight in the snow was your idea when you're 6 hours in and you're like, I can't feel anything. Yeah. So no, absolutely. And I think, to be honest, like, you know, Sully came on my radar after Animal Kingdom. I don't know, which you know, he was not an action star. He was just like an amazing actor that I'd never seen before. And so the fact that he's like since really like become this like a guy from the 300, you know, to have that guy's look and body inside, like on top of like an extraordinary instrument of an amazing actor, that, you know, again, you don't get that a lot. Yeah. I think that's around it, guys. As the room slowly empties out.
Thank you.